name is Chris Vigilante. I am the founder of Vigilante Coffee Company. My role there is mainly as green buyer. So that what that means is I procure our raw coffee from farms all over the world. And then I also serve as the CEO of the company. And our business model is a retail wholesale model. So we have 2 cafes, and we also roast coffee for other businesses, as well as an online store where we provide subscriptions and coffee direct to consumers. So we have both a retail and a wholesale model. We've experienced dramatic changes due to COVID, I think, like most businesses. We closed both of our cafes for a small period of time, and then transitioned to a takeout only model, which we're still operating under. And we've also experienced interruptions in our wholesale business because of restaurants, hotels, music venues that we work with, also battling this crisis and dealing with it in different ways. So we've kind of seen it in multiple areas. Our online business has actually grown pretty significantly, over 100% since the beginning of the pandemic. And that's common within our industry and coffee roasters throughout the country in the specialty market. And then my background, got in coffee in Hawaii in 2008 while I was still in college. Started working with farms there in Hawaii. It's the only state that produces coffee. California does now a little bit, but mainly Hawaii. And learned coffee from the farm to the cup, learned how to roast there, learned how to operate as a barista. Was a coffee professional in Washington, D.C. for a number of years as I pursued starting my business. And we've been around since about 2012 and have grown organically over the years.
Wow, what a journey. Just one more question for you. In light of COVID-19, can you give us insight into your total strategy going forward?
Yeah, it's ensuring our staff feel good about operating, about coming to work. That was our number one priority is, we can't have a business if we don't have a team. And we wanted to make sure that they felt comfortable coming to work, and hence our transition into a takeout only model that we've maintained to this point. Using our own judgment on how to operate safely, but also looking to, guidelines from health experts, scientists, and pivoting as we need to, and also dictating our own timeline as when we resume normal operations. And when I say use our own judgment, I mainly mean to that. And internally, really continuing to focus on what keeps us inspired, I think is something that we've really tried to do throughout the pandemic, is look inward. How can we improve as a company internally? How can we bring a better online experience to our customers? These have all been things that we've tried to transition and keep focused on.
Wow. A little bit more about me. As you said, I've started other companies. My background is all in technology for large companies as well as small. The largest, I worked in technical marketing on specifically the Unix operating system at Oracle Corporation, and ran that division. And then I started a conference production company specifically focused on the technology industry and grew that quite large. As you say, I am an author, which was always a dream of mine. I had a story in mind, and no, it is not autobiographical, which so many people ask. And it never got onto the New York Times bestseller list, but I do have a little bit of a cult following who are pressuring me to do a sequel to it. So that's somewhere around number 18 on my list of things to do. I've been doing angel investing for the last few years, mostly customer focused, so B2C. And you may know, you may have heard of Rothy's or Birdies, a bunch of companies. I have one that has been acquired by Procter & Gamble called This Is L. So that's been a really interesting aspect. So I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. And so that takes us to Gray Lane Beauty, because I noticed that one time that my mascara was starting to get really clumpy and was flaking, and I looked for an expiration date on it, and there was none. And so I started researching it and found that the industry really doesn't focus on when to replace your mascara, despite the FDA and the American Society of Ophthalmologists recommending every 2 to 4 months replacing. And so, as you say, I say that it's basically the Dollar Shave Club of mascara. And our model is a little bit different. I grew up with many sisters, and we were always excited when the Avon lady, and I'm sure most of you don't even remember that era, but when the Avon lady would come to see our mother, she would bring us all these little lipsticks that we could play around with. So how it works for Grayling Beauty is when a visitor comes to the site, they answer a few questions in a fun little quiz. And based on their preferences through that process, we recommend one of our discovery sets. And so this is a discovery set. And what they get is that they get 3 travel size mascaras. The value is $30. We offer it to them with a promo code everywhere on our website called First Set, so they can get it for $10. And then they can play around, like me, with the Avon lipsticks. They can play around with different mascaras, and I think that's one of the barriers to entry, so to speak, of people who want to try a new mascara. It's the cost. They're used to their other one. They don't really want to try different things. So this makes it a fun and an engaging experience for them. Then the next phase is we strongly encourage them to sign up for a membership, which we prefer to call it, over a subscription, because we want to create a sense of community. And they would either do a quarterly, which is how often we recommend that they change their mascara, or they could do it more often if they so chose, or they could do an annual subscription. But we allow them out of any one of our subscription membership options. So that is the model of the company.
That's amazing. That's a really cool concept. So my next question is similar to what we asked all the speakers. In light of COVID, what is your company's strategy moving forward? And I know you have many, so you can choose.
Well, hopefully we have some very strong specific ones. So our first is easy for us, and that is that we talk about safety. And so I've got an advisor, an ophthalmologist out of New York, who has developed and patented her own products that will be going into a new product that we'll be releasing Q1 of 2021. And it happens to be a mascara remover, but it has hyaluronic acid and a host of other soothing and aspects that will enhance the skin around the eyes. So our focus is during COVID is very, very much on safety and really bringing forth that, which we have currently no competitors in this area. And so really honing in on safety, safety, safety. And being the type of company that we are, we want to be very transparent. We showcase what our profit margins are or are not. For example, the discovery set I showed you is at a break even at the $10 mark. We also are a clean beauty company, meaning we don't use any bad ingredients in our mascaras. And so we're also a B corporation. And if you're familiar with B Lab, it's taking into consideration all constituents and all strategic areas. And finally, we give back $1 for every full-size mascara that's sold to an organization called Build On. And our area of focus is on adult literacy. And we happen to be focused on Nepal. And I feel from the bottom of my heart, and as a founder, get to put that out there in the company, that literacy and education is the base for really changing our society in general.